Women of Reddit, what inappropriate questions about men have you always wanted answered? Before you went through puberty, could you orgasm? Like if you masturbated, did you get any release but it's just that nothing came out? Or were you unable to get any sort of resolution? I didn't even know this was a question I had until a decade ago during a conversation with a male friend when he was flabbergasted that some women started masturbating really young and their orgasms weren't dependent on puberty. I tried clarifying what it was like for boys before puberty, but he couldn't give a good answer. Google wasn't really helpful either. Everything was too clinical to give a good answer. I'm sure if I googled more in depth I could find it, but I feel creepy googling what is masturbating like for prepubescent boys. Yes, it was like dry heaving except in a good way, and from the penis. Tell you what, the first time with was a big scary surprise. Yeah, no f***ing shit. No one had told me about semen growing up. First time I ejaculated I thought I broke my dick. I spent 2 weeks worried it was going to rot off or something. So I guess that's the boy equivalent of girls who thought their first period meant they were dying. I always thought it was weird that some girls weren't told about their period until they first got it. Is it really all that common? Why would you wait until they get it and then put them through all that stress? I was told about periods when I was 8 and that one day I would get them, 4 years before I got my first period. That way when I first got it I knew what was happening and didn't freak. Yeah, it's freaking stupid. No need to make girls freak out like that. I'm grateful my mum taught me about periods when I was about 9, because we didn't get taught about them in school until I was 12. How helpful. I got my period at 11. We were given the period talk at 10. Which I find surprising considering that my school had no sex ed at all after that, other than if you even look at the person of the opposite gender you are dirty. No, I'm not kidding with that. No, I didn't go to religious school. Just your average day in the Indiana school system. That still didn't mean I was kinda confused on what to do when I did actually get my period. Do you guys want us to play with your balls or no? Does it depend on the guy? What does that shit feel like? It depends on the guy. I know a few friends who have said they would never let a girl touch their balls. I personally love it. Getting my balls licked feels great. Getting them fondled just feels good. I personally enjoy a little light tapping slapping, which makes it exciting and heightens the sensation of everything down there. But don't do the slapping hitting thing unless you talk about it beforehand. Most guys aren't into that. Slapping, holy shit dude, what, doesn't that hurt like crazy? Does it feel good as in just pleasure or does it feel good like masochistically? Also SRY, I hope you're okay with me asking follow-up questions. This is just super interesting to me, lol. Your reaction is quite normal, haha. Well, I'm not one for pain. If it hurt, I wouldn't like it. And I don't mean wailing on my junk. I mean light to medium broad hits across the scrotum. I think it feels very good. It's like a jolt of a pleasurable pain, but mostly pleasurable. It heightens all my senses and is like turning up the sensitivity on my gonads by 50%. This is purely speculative and anecdotal, but I feel like it floods my system with more testosterone, which makes me more aroused, in control. I thought it was all in my head, but when my partner mentioned she noticed like an aggressive change afterwards, I thought maybe I was onto something. If you're interested, next time you're beating your meat, take your open hand and lightly start tapping both your balls. Slowly start applying more strength. You will know pretty quick if you like it or not. I also having my bitten. Not like hard, eating a chewy steak kind of biting. But biting the shaft and kind of applying pressure. That also might sound scary, but it's so hard at that point it doesn't really feel like anything except pressure. I mainly enjoy the visual. Boy, you kinda turned me on. How often do you see random penises at the urinals? You don't. There is urinal etiquette where you space apart unless it's packed. Then, you look straight ahead and stare at the wall. Your eyes never stray. You keep looking at the tile bathroom mat until you need to look down and give the final shake. Make sure you don't get any on you. There are unavoidable circumstances though. I walked into the bathroom at the movie theater the other weekend and turned the corner to the urinals, and right at the end of the line, the only guy taking a piss was about a foot back with his in his hand out in the open, pissing across the gap. Have you ever encountered the pants around the ankles guy? I've seen more of man ass than I care to. A kid I went to kindergarten with always did that. The f were you thinking, Lorenzo? F***ing Lorenzo. What was he thinking? I do this more and more at home as I get older. The muscles to get the last few drops out get weaker with age and dribble is nasty. I just hope I don't ever accidentally do it on autopilot in public. I think if I saw that I'd turn around and leave the bathroom lol. More often than not, that's my response. Do you always share nudes sent to you to your friends? I don't. Someone trusted me with that picture or pictures and I won't turn around and betray that trust. I hope everyone has the same mindset. I know most of my friends do. I'm trying to remember any of them showing me nudes of their girlfriends or exes and I can't recall seeing any. My ex dumped me back in January and I found out she had been cheating on me for a while. I still deleted all the revealing pictures I had of her without ever thinking about showing anyone. I just figure it must make someone nervous to have stuff like that out there, and if she was nice enough to send them or let me take them, I can be nice enough to respect her and keep them to myself or delete them. I'm no saint, but that stuff is private and should stay that way. I have lots of nudes of my ex. I don't really have a folder of them specifically, they're just on my computer. I wouldn't share them, but I'm not gonna delete them until I get into another serious relationship. I would hope at that point I'd get new pics. I feel like people don't do it with girlfriends or girls they think might become girlfriends, but with hookups and flings it's way more common. For younger people like in college and shit. I'm 25 now and it doesn't really happen. I've never seen a nude of my friend's GFs, but I've definitely seen some of FWBs. One of my casual relationships involved the girl wearing a very loose tank top with no bra around her apt and her roommate's hookups were there as well lol. Pretty open bunch I must say. As for me, any nude I've sent is open to all. I actually have sent some girls from Tinder pics and they send a pic back that is them with friends, guys and girls, as a way to surprise me or something, and I just ask if they liked it to lol. I got a nice pic, not gonna be embarrassed. I remember in his my GF at the time's ex had nudes of her. Me and a friend of mine stole his phone and deleted them with a nifty diversion tactic. Guys like that quick ninja Reddit to say he was showing people them. It's not an inappropriate question pertaining to salacious or sexually explicit topics, but how do you really feel about women initiating romantic gestures? Do you find it presumptuous if your partner defies conventional gender roles and romances you? Let's be candid about it. Hollywood and their ubiquitous romance films have entrenched expectations in men and women alike. So, would you feel inhibited or awkward if your partner wines and dined you and took the initiative regularly? I've asked my coworker about this and he has an aversion to his wife assuming the male role. He was quite vehemently opposed to being emasculating. My other coworker had a similar opinion and disdained the idea. It's super hot when the girl initiates. You feel so loved. And casual sexual touches during non-sexual acts are the biggest turn on. Agree completely. Nothing turns me off faster in a relationship than a partner who won't reciprocate romantic gestures. Makes things feel one-sided if they don't. When you are the one initiating all the time, it's really easy to have that doubt in your mind that maybe she's just going along with it because you initiated. Just like those songs you wouldn't go out of your way to listen to but wouldn't turn off if it randomly started playing. But when she initiates it's amazing because you know she did it because she wanted to. Even hearing my girlfriend say I love you first every now and then melts my heart because I know she's saying it out of genuine love rather than the expected response of I love you too after someone says I love you. What Boom said. Guys who think they'd always like it haven't been propositioned by ugly and or unpleasant smelling women. But if it's someone who's at least half your age plus 7 and of approximately similar overall attractiveness, it literally can't hurt to ask. Do at least most vaginas feel the same? Or do some feel different? Most vaginas do feel the same. Except one time I was with this girl who warned me she has an abnormally tight vagina. She told me the medical term for it but I can't remember. Of course I was all for it because who doesn't like a tight vagina? I had to insert my penis so slowly so it didn't hurt her too bad. Once I was all the way in, I distinctly remember thinking, so this is what it feels like to f*** a piece of calamari. Note, it did feel great, but couldn't get the thought of calamari out of my head the rest of the time. Some of the girls I've been with have ridges inside and the front. I think these might be scars from childhood abuse, but I'm not sure. No, that's a normal part of female anatomy. Most women don't have them and it really feels like scar tissue. I would rather it be your answer though.